So, Lawrence, first, I think it's important that we keep the focus on Kevin McCarthy here, right? When you go to the zoo and there's a sign that says, you know, don't feed the animals, it's because the animals can't help themselves, right? Tucker Carlson, he can't help himself, but us humans, we can. And so Kevin McCarthy is the one who has, you know, fed the trolls, so to speak. And so the responsibility, you know, should lie at his feet. And I want to make sure we, you know, keep holding him responsible for this and the repercussions of this, the distortion of the truth, the disinformation, and, you know, what will likely be more violence because they're glorifying or they're repainting what happened on the 6th, but also giving a blueprint.
When CNN told where the leaders were taken, a secret place where they told us we couldn't even tell people. I know, and I'm answering your question. You can ask whatever question you want, but I have the right to answer your question.
Mr. Speaker.
I'm answering his question. Thank you.
Take a look.
Mr. Speaker. Because of the footage that you gave Tucker Carlson last night, he went on and said this was a mostly peaceful chaos, as he said. He downplayed Brian Sicknick's death, said it was not related to January 6th, said this was not an insurrection. Do you regret giving him this footage so he could whitewash the events of that day?
No, I said at the very beginning, transparency. And so what I wanted to produce for everybody is exactly what I said, that people can actually look at it and see what's gone on that day. So.
But Mr. Speaker, would you agree with his portrayal of what happened that day?
Look, each person can come up with their own conclusion, but what I just wanted to make sure is I had transparency.
Do you believe
because I know in CNN, I mean, I had here where you guys actually broke where we were. This was a secret location, Fort McNair. I don't know if you got concerned by that. I don't even know from point of view of security if we could ever be taken there again. But when you broke that at CNN, that was a real concern to a lot of people. I had a real concern also when I wanted to make sure transparency. Look, the officer's death is tragic, and anytime an officer is passed in this situation, I want to make sure they're protected. I want to make sure the transparency goes forward.
Speaker McCarthy,
was this in any way part of the deal that you made to win the speakership?
No.
To specifically give the content to
No, the
Tucker?
answer is no. And if you follow, I'm not sure if you were there the times before, I got asked the question in a press what I would do in the process. I've watched on January 6th committee how it was only politically driven. Now, on the January 6th committee, you couldn't have, the minority side wasn't allowed to put people on. And I just thought it was fair if someone asked me the question, just transparency. So what I tried to do is be able to release the information, which we'll do to everybody. I worked with the Capitol Police. I asked them for any clips on the way that they had concern with the security level. Only one of the clips did, and we were able to change that. An interesting thing the Capitol Police told us when we went through this is that January 6th never asked them about that, the security. So that's why they showed, unfortunately, Vice President Pence, when he was being escorted out, they used my office on the escort where he went out. They never asked the Capitol Police if that's showing security clearance that they shouldn't, which they didn't. They didn't ask me as well. I didn't.
The Capitol Police Chief and the Senate Republican leader both raised concerns about the footage that you gave to Tucker Carlson, the way he portrayed it. He portrayed it as a mostly peaceful day. Do you have concerns with that portrayal?
You know, you asked the same question yesterday, and let me walk you back through that. The Capitol Police Chief, we went to them and asked, is there any clips in the process of where you see, tell us any warnings? He only had one, and we cleared it up. Lo and behold, Swalwell had already put that clip out on the internet for the last year and a half. I'm not sure if you asked, based upon any of those, about what you did with CNN. When CNN told where the leaders were taken, a secret place where they told us we couldn't even tell people. I know, and I'm answering your question. You can ask whatever question you want, but I have the right to answer your question.
Mr. Speaker.
I'm answering his question, thank you. When CNN told the American public that we were at Fort McNair, I don't know if we can go back there. I don't think that's even changed. But you have now told your network, the entire world, where we go. I didn't hear one question from your network either when you would know when subpoenas were released before anybody else. I didn't know that your network got upset when you sat in Statuary Hall, when nobody else networks got anything. And I'm not sure your network got upset either when you had the Speaker of the House daughter do a documentary filming where we are in a secure place, walking through this when people weren't supposed to know. So now you're upset that we allowed somebody else just to have transparency. Now you are, the Capitol Police was able to see it, and you know what the Capitol Police told us too? Is that January 6th committee never asked them. So I thank you for your question. Yeah.
But just as it was unacceptable for Kevin McCarthy to provide 41,000 hours of sensitive security footage to a biased talking head in an effort to rewrite what happened on January 6th. This is a new Republican playbook, apparently. Risk American safety and security to score political points.
The gentlelady's words should be struck. We do not accuse witnesses of threatening others. That is out of line and outside the rules of this committee.
That, and I can have an opinion.
You don't get to determine what's struck down.
Well, you do get an opening statement, and it's
and
about,
so let
it's
me
about
finish.